What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Fix My List Thursday.
Wow, it feels
where the
like
audio always works.
it feels like we were just live.
It does feel that way. I can almost still not hear us.
Okay. Yeah.
But this time we're back. Welcome, everyone.
I mean, just to give some color as to what happened, Siegs walked in, turned a switch off, and then back on it. Like, he adjusted a slider down and then back up, and it worked.
Yeah.
It was in the right spot. It just decided it didn't want to work for us.
Yeah,
it wanted to work for Siegs.
That's how it is. So, the mime show is over. The mime show... We're actually going to prank the audience on April 1st with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Either that or, you know what I think we're going to do on April 1st? On April 1st, we're going to have a stream where we get everyone on the same page, by the way. And we're going to have like 50 people in the chat all telling us the audio's broken. And then like we're going to have Secret come in and try to fix it. And we're just going to get the whole chat in on the game.
Yeah.
Just the whole chat being like, I don't know, man. Audio's not working.
Oh, that would be so
get 'em.
good.
We're going to get them. All right.
Yeah.
If you're watching Fix My List for the first time and you perhaps have not figured out what the show's about, let me spell it out real quick. Jack and I, we fix your lists. And where we find these lists is in the Art of War Discord. So if you're not in the Art of War Discord, the next logical question is, how do I get in the Art of War Discord? It's actually not that hard. If you're watching this on YouTube, which is the only place to watch it, then go down there, click a like, share, subscribe button, do all the fun things, and then become a member of the channel. And if you become a member of the channel, or if you go to our website, theartofwar40k.com, you're going to get access to the Art of War Discord. Once you're there, go to Fix My List, submit a list, tell us why you want us to fix your list, tell us a bit about it, and you know what? We may just pick it. We may decide to fix it.
Yes. If it is worthy of fixing, then
Absolutely.
then we shall
and
show up.
We like creative lists. We like unique lists. Like if there's 50 Hail of Doom lists, well, we're not going to pick 3 of them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you are a Children of the Far Skies or something, Open Skies, Children of the Open Skies, we might look at it.
Yeah, a far-flung craft world with Swift Strikes and Children of the Open Skies, that would definitely not be the third list on this list.
No, you could get us to notice. We might notice you. All right. Jack, you happy? You ready?
Is it fixin' time?
It's fixin' time.
Time to fix?
It's the only time I know.
All right.
My favorite part of Bob the Builder is when he says it's fixin' time.
Like Morbius?
Yeah, no, it's exactly like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does the hands.
All right, we've got a mono Khorne demon list from Le Bam Bam.
Le Bam Bam.
Le Bam Bam.
Le Bam Bam. I don't know.
It's probably French. I don't know. All right, so we've got a Khorne Arcs of Omens attachment. We've got a Bloodthirster with Indomitable Onslaught, which is the 8 wound phase cap. Mm-hmm. We've got Blood Drinker Talisman and Brazen Hide.
So it's Morbin time.
Moving on. Blood Drinker Talisman gives you, every time you kill a model, you get a wound back on a 5+. I don't think it's capped, but, it's capped.
By how many times you can roll 5s, yeah.
Yeah. Brazen Hide gives you a 5+ Feel No Pain. Love that. Bellicor. Then we've got a Skullmaster, which is the Juggernaut boy.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
With Argath, the King of Blades. So that's +1. That's ignore hit and wound modifiers and +1 damage. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good sword.
It is, in fact, the best sword. It is the king of the swords. Mm-hmm. Then we've got Skulltaker. We've got 30 Bloodletters, 10-10-10. We've got 8 Blood Crushers, 4-4. And we've got 5 Flesh Hounds and 2 Skull Cannons and 15 points. It's possible that was meant to be a 6 Flesh Hound list, or it's possible even was a 6 Flesh Hound unit. But 15 points left over.
So, do we have any notes from Le Bam Bam? Because there's one thing in this list that sticks out like a sore thumb, and I just want to know before we go trimming, if maybe Bellicor saved his puppy from a house fire and he's forever in his debt.
I don't care, really. I don't care if Bellicor is a real nice guy.
Oh, okay, I'm just saying. Sometimes there's just one guy with the Zinch keyword in that list, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know, a Psyker perhaps. All jokes aside, I think going with a lot of the Khorne stat lines is really good. I feel like this list is just begging for a Scarbrand. Old Scary B.
Yeah, I want Scarbrand in here. It just
I want
helps you.
Scarbrand in here so bad.
It helps you beat. No,
like-
there are no comments, and it's also definitely 5 flesh hounds. I didn't mess that up. Sweet.
Okay, there you go.
First time for everything.
All right.
So, yeah. I want Scarbrand because it gives you, first off, it gives you +1 attack, and Bloodletters with 2 attacks are kind of not it.
Yeah, and I also specifically don't want Be'lakor.
Yeah,
I
Be'lakor.
need to clarify that these are...
Be'lakor too expensive. Be'lakor, he is a Warp Locus. Be'lakor is a Warp Locus, but so is Scarbrand. Be'lakor can teleport around the board, which is super cool.
It is very cool.
It is very cool. Is it 90 more points than Scarbrand cool? Like, probably not.
I feel like you've built the list around I am Khorne, I am combat. You might as well take 1, the guy so angry he hit Khorne. 2, like someone to trap, more trap in combat.
Dare I play Mono Khorne to Cherokee?
I don't think you dare, actually. Because then you'd actually have to paint your Bloodthirster, and we know that's never going to happen. Got him, boys. Tell you what, if you do Mono Khorne, I'll help you paint.
Thank you. All right, so we got a Bloodthirster. This Bloodthirster's pretty good. I like Argath, King of Blades on him instead of Blood Drinker Talisman, although that might change in the new meta in Arcs of Omen. Because before it was you take Argath, King of Blades for like Thousand Suns and Harlequins, and you don't need them quite as much now because -1 to hit, -1 to wound is God damn it, Quentin, you're such a bad influence. -1 to hit, -1 to wound was so rough on
when it happens.
So
terrible.
And making your sweep attacks damage 3 just would like scoop Terminators by the bucket load. I still think you want Argath just because like into Marines you just roll up to a Terminator unit, go, you're dead. But you can also think about taking multiple Bloodthirsters.
How many is there a second Bloodthirster besides Scarbrand? So a third Bloodthirster that we would actually consider?
Yeah, honestly, there is. I think I would consider just taking the one with Indomitable Onslaught, and then maybe at that point you take Blood Drinker because the second one is going to have Argath.
Okay.
And then the second one has double wounds for phase cap, for double wounds for degradation purposes, Brazen Hide and Argath, King of Blades. So you have one phase cap and one that's just like a bowling ball that tries to go through your opponent's army. I don't think that's what I'm going to recommend here.
Yeah.
But it is...
It is a little spicy.
It is a little spicy. And if you have the ability to introduce your opponent to pain, you know, that's a lot of pain. That's a lot of pain in that train. And I think he's not nearly as expensive as the Indomitable Onslaught guy. I think he's 15 points cheaper.
Okay, so 345.
Yeah, 345. Which is pretty good, because 330, 345 is... Unfortunately, you can't deep strike all of them, which is to the point where it's probably not worth it. But it's an interesting thought. All right. But yeah, Be'lakor definitely becomes Scarbrand. And then I think... Yeah, the Skullmaster and Skulltaker, I don't love. They're just not efficient stat lines, like, honestly, for the points.
So Be'lakor's gone. Yeah, without a Warlord trait, Skulltaker is... Honestly, Skulltaker is like a badass enough that I want him in the list anyway, out of respect. However, he does walk around on his 2 feet.
He does, and that's
I do dislike that part.
I mean, he can teleport like right next to people.
Yeah,
and
he can deep strike and try
and take their
probably
skulls.
What he's gonna do.
Yeah,
then he's not hitting characters; he's hitting screens.
Yeah,
if I'm deep striking a walking character to go charge a screening unit, I feel like Skulltaker's not.
Yeah, I mean, you can get characters against bad players, but against good players, you're just not going to
charge characters.
Get to charge a character with Skulltaker. Jeffrey asks how he managed 4 HQs. It's easy. It's in Arcs of Omen. Arcs of Omen, you get 4 HQs in your detachment. I like 30 Bloodletters. I could see going up to 40. But where are we at if we just take Bloodthirster as he's got him kitted out and Scarbrand, 30 Bloodletters? Where does that leave us?
Oh, if we just take the 2 HQs and 3?
Yep, I wanna build up from there.
How much is Scarbrand?
330.
Okay. So we're at 690 with the 2 Thirsters.
I'll make sure he didn't.
300.
I'll make sure he didn't go up or down.
Yeah, no problem. So it's you're at 1080 if you just do 30 Bloodletters and the 2 and the tool that Bloodthirster with Scarbrand.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Scarbrand is still 330.
Love that for him. Yeah, I mean that leaves us plenty of points. At that point, I like 1 unit of Blood Crushers personally. I don't really think I love 2. They're a little too move blockable. I like that one of them could deep strike. They have icons, so they can use the 3d6 charge strat.
Yes.
And you can be like, all right, this one harder hitting Bloodletter unit will make the charge, and you roll from there. I don't like a second one that much.
They hit very hard.
They do hit very hard.
Yeah,
enough that I want one.
I want more Flesh Hounds. You're not lacking for ability to hit hard in one place.
Yeah.
So I want more Flesh Hounds, and I believe you mentioned this before you went live, but I want Skull Cannons.
I do want Skull Cannons. So let's add one 4-man Blood Crusher to that core that we already had. Mm-hmm. So just 1 4-man at the moment. We'll see if we want a 5th.
How about 3 5-man Flesh Hounds and 3 Skull Cannons?
Okay. So 3 Skull Cannons is going to add us 270.
Yep.
And then 3 5-man Flesh Hounds is going to add us 225.
Yep.
So that still leaves us about 265 points left. And for context...
That sounds like 2 units of Bloodletters, my dude.
It's real close to that, isn't it? I was going to look at what the other HQs are, because I want to see what the Khorne Chariot does and how much it is.
Yeah, so this Khorne Chariot Rendmaster on Blood Throne is 140 points. Did not change at all. And is a really good combat beat stick.
Oh, we're really close to being able to fit that.
We're really close to being able to fit 2 of them.
Yeah.
How close are we to fitting... We're 5 points away from fitting a Rendmaster on Skull Throne and 10 Bloodletters.
We're 5 points away.
That's rough. Because this list does not
have things.
Like
it would be cutting the 5-5-5 Flesh Hounds to 7-7, and then you're 10 under.
Or just 5-5, honestly.
5-5.
5-5. You could also do a Bloodthirster without phase caps. Mm-hmm. Right? A Bloodthirster where... Because that's 50 points. Where you just count as double wounds and just try and bowling ball people.
Yeah.
Which I think is fine.
Another thing being recommended here is what about a Demon Prince to be treated as a mini 3rd Bloodthirster?
Ooh, I do like a Demon Prince with Argath.
How much is a Demon Prince?
Interesting question. Let me navigate over.
Yeah.
All right, Demon Prince of Chaos is 140 base. Okay. 150 when you include the weapon that you are going to include.
Okay.
You take a sword. And then 185 if you take wings, but I actually think because you bring him in and
by deep strike,
I think you don't.
Okay. So the wings are 35?
Wings are 35.
Okay, yeah, we can look at that at the end if the list is 1965. But I could acknowledge him just walking around on foot with a big sword is kind of appealing.
He hits super hard.
Uh-huh.
Like, he hits mega hard. Because he gets +1 strength, +2 attacks for being Khorne.
So that does hit very hard.
Yeah, he hits super duper hard.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up some rules. Oh, rules are for fools. You didn't see that.
Dun dun dun. Who are you looking up?
Prince.
Just seeing how hard.
Yeah, I just want to see.
He can hit.
Rules, as I said, they're for fools, but unfortunately we're fools.
Yeah, that's Jack. I kind of like the idea of cutting, I think, 1 unit of Flesh Hounds here, so we're down to 2x5, getting 2 really good characters in, and then having just a couple random points that you throw into either a 5th Blood Crusher or an extra Hound.
List name, don't mess with me or my son's son ever again. Love that.
Nice.
Love that. You could go Uraka the Warfiend for rerolls on the Skull Cannons.
Is he just like a reroll 1s aura?
He's Khorne Demon's reroll 1s because he's old.
Got it. Oh, they didn't update his reroll 1s aura?
I don't believe so.
That's weird. And I know the demons got their Imperial Armor FAQ. I just don't know what happened to Uraka the Warfiend. Other than he doesn't have an invuln anymore.
He has a...
He's demon safe now.
Okay, thanks for that. Yes.
Yeah, no. But like,
Khorne Demons reroll hit rolls of 1 while they're within 6.
That's cool.
That is cool.
How much is Uraka the Warfiend?
130.
So he's cheap.
He's cheap. He has 6 attacks. He is strength 7 AP 3. He's strength 9 AP 3, damage 3. And if he rolls a wound roll of a 6, it's damage 6.
That's pretty cute.
It is. And then every time he destroys an enemy model, once he reaches 8, he gets +1 move, strength, and attacks.
So he's just a walking demon prince who doesn't hit quite as hard.
But he
still hits pretty hard.
Yeah, you can't give him warlord traits or relics. Well, you can. It's just inspiring leader, which is not inspiring.
Not what you're doing, yeah.
No. And then once per turn, he can attempt to deny the witch. As if he were a psyker. Which I think, honestly, super worth.
130 points is nice, because also, if we don't do anything, we could just take Uraka the Warfiend and, 10 Bloodletters.
Yeah,
I don't have to cut anything.
I'm really feeling Uraka. He also has a pistol, because he can shoot with his axe.
Is it a relic pistol?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a relic pistol. It's his axe. It's the Executioner's axe. It's strength 7, AP 3, damage 3.
Yeah, so just to give you the context of what just added up to 1995, that would be Kitted Up Bloodthirster, 360 points, Scarbrand, Uraka the Warfiend.
Hell yeah, Uraka.
4 units of 10 Bloodletters. 1 unit of 4 Blood Crushers, 3x5 Flesh Hounds, 3x5 Skull Cannons.
3x3 by skull.
Sorry, 3 Skull Cannons, yeah, not 3x5. That would
40
be
bloodletters, right?
40 Bloodletters.
That list kind of slays.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I kind of want to go paint Uraka the Warfiend.
Yeah, me
The
too.
model's actually pretty dope, and for anyone who hasn't looked at it.
Yeah.
Uraka the Warfiend.
I kind of want to.
Yeah, Jack's Khorne player now. There we go.
God, this is breaking my New Year's resolution so hard.
Isn't it?
My New Year's resolution is I'm not just gonna like YOLO army. Not two events. That's totally fine. But I'm not just gonna randomly like build a bunch of stuff in an army that I'm not gonna like build a whole army for. Whatever. That list sounds sweet.
It does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for Khorne. You know that.
You gotta, otherwise he's coming to you.
It's my second favorite god.
God, Uraka does kind of tie this together because he gives the Bloodthirster and Scarbrand rerolls.
Yeah, it's also that he's just like slightly cheaper than by the exact margin required to fit the list.
Yeah.
We went from 5 over to 5 under, and boy, is that my preference.
Yeah, I'd rather be legal than not. Yeah, Uraka with Skull Cannons rerolling ones, with 3 Skull Cannons, and then the Bloodthirster and and Scarbrand all rerolling ones. And then he's another reroll ones to hit aura for all the other stuff, which you have Scarbrand and the Bloodthirster for, but you can never have too many auras in that.
I'm just gonna look up to make sure that he didn't get core slapped onto that. 'Cause if he didn't get core slapped onto his reroll ones aura, that's honestly pretty cool.
According to Wahapedia, he does not. And I know that a lot of the demons still work. Like I know that Death Guard can use Mammon on the on all their demon engines to give them all reroll ones.
Jeez, I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's pretty spicy.
Let's see what Uraka the Warfiend says.
That was an Iowa boy special that I learned.
All right, he lost Demonic Ritual. That's okay. He added a keyword Legions Daemonica, and he got a new save characteristic.
Oh yeah, he did.
No, fair enough.
Yeah, he did.
Demonic save characteristic of 5 up, 4 up. So
Yeah.
5 up in combat, 4 up against shooting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty strong.
Yeah, the 4 up against shooting is always nice.
So, looking at, does Monocorn get any army trade or just the warp table? Just the warp table.
Yeah, but well, no one else gets a Warp Storm table these days, so take it.
And delivering Scarbrand safely is mostly just leadership shenaniganry, honestly. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't, the main problems with this is you can't reserve Warp Storm points, which means you can't guarantee that go turn works.
You spend them when you got them. Every turn's a go turn when you're Khorne. Always be charging.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the secret is every turn's a go turn.
Yeah, I mean, but you have fast units that can lower leadership, and then you drop in and you try and get charges at that point.
And then you 3d6 the Blood Crushers, and you try to tie people up in combat. You could always deep strike Scarbrand and then extend his aura if you had a couple of, because it's like 3 Warp Storm points for that.
To do what?
To extend auras is only like 3 Warp Storm points, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So you could just drop him in and extend his aura if he fails to charge.
Well, his aura goes from 6 to. Oh, I see.
Yeah, as long as you get within 9 inches, which.
You should be doing if you're in combat,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in combat with someone, like someone is that.
Yeah, and then at least something's locked in combat. That sounds dope. Uraka feels like it's the sauce.
Uraka the sauce fiend.
That's right. All right, let's
sauce.
Stop, please.
All
right. Well, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
That list sounds great. Catchy says, double Rogal Dorns for a doubles tournament, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay! There's a bottomless sale on Dorns.
Touche. No, Rogal Dorns are just absolutely fun. Unfortunately, can't have 2 Lord Solars there, or can you?
Wait, what?
I don't know how doubles works. No, I am fully in favor of you getting Rogal Dorns in that doubles list. The Rogal Dorn is just super fun. It shoots hard. I really enjoyed getting on the table and just being T9 in front of people because there was no one there to make me pay for my sins. As soon as you find Strength 10, you'll feel less excited about it, but for now, you enjoy that T9.
You do you, buddy. Mm-hmm. All right, David with a $10 super chat says, toying with a meme solar watch list that runs 3x10 sword and shield guard, the light cover banner, and the Sally Forth warlord trait. It takes AP4 to hit invuln, and advance and charge allows you to touch most targets turn 2. So first thing I would say is if you're going to run that, I think you run the dense cover banner, because light cover you can tag a guy or 2 in every squad into, which should be enough to negate any of that AP. Like how many different 2-ups do you need to make? Exactly. So whereas reducing every, giving -1 to hit will be, and once they do hit AP4, by the way, then light cover banner is useless, whereas dense cover banner is still helping you avoid those shots. So I would switch to the dense cover banner for sure. And then on top of that, do we want 30 sword and shield guard or do we want 30 wardens?
Could I argue for a mix?
You could. You could also argue for some Sagittarum as well.
Yeah.
Because Sagittarum, they shoot. But I think what he's looking for is to get aggro on people.
Yeah, I don't think Sagittarium fit the theme of this list.
No, this theme
is obviously a very themed list.
Yes, this list is going to be inside of your army. Turn 2, just touching everything.
I kind of want to have like 10 shield guard, 10 wardens, and then 3/3/3 Sagittarium.
Yeah, 10 shield guard, 10 wardens sounds really good. And then
The Sally Forth is awesome.
You can also take 3. You can also take 3-man the Terminators. The Terminators are a very efficient use of your strats.
Terminators are also nice, yeah.
At this point. I mean, 180 is a lot for a 3-man, but they're dope as hell.
I have to say those points.
It's brothers.
Yeah.
So much.
I feel like I would just rather have wardens than Terminators almost every day of the week.
Okay.
Combat's the same. Defense is like slightly worse, but not.
They have 1 extra wound.
6 up, feel no pain versus 1 extra wound is slightly worse defense.
10 points per model less.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably want 20 duders, and then you want like a lot of little squads running around to solve your I need to do things problem.
I really don't think that 30 is the right number. Because you have 3 big bricks and 2 defensive strats.
Well, everyone is arguing about which banner to take. Why not take all 3?
Touche. We're not going to run out of elite slots anymore.
No, you will not. It's a terrible plan. Don't do that. But I think dense cover banner, because if they can't kill you, you're going to win. You don't have a damage output issue with the list. I think you do go wardens, at least for some of it.
Yeah, I think I'd be okay with 10-10, although frankly just 20 wardens is also really good, as we've seen. But 10-10 for the flavor, and also because sometimes you find someone with AP2.
Oh, God.
And then it's just like, ooh.
Yeah, the sword and
Poor
shield guard
choice.
leads the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, move blocking is not as big an issue, honestly, because what you do is you use your pile and consolidates to go forward.
Yep.
So you shoot with what you can to pick away some models in their unit.
Charge
and then
this move block.
And then you charge the move block, and you pile in, consolidate. Use your charge move, then pile and consolidate after you kill them.
Mm-hmm. Just go find objectives and you'll be fine.
All right, let's...
All right, we got more lists to fix.
We do. We got more lists to fix.
Let's do it. I will not rest.
Razzles!
I will not rest until every list is fixed. However, you gave me a Tau list, and I feel hurt.
Listen, buddy, I'm sorry. The Imperium train had to end for you eventually.
We did Khorne. Khorne made me happy.
Khorne made me very happy. Uraka the Warfiend.
That makes you happy?
It kind of makes me sad at the same time, because I'm thinking up like a sweet conversion, and then I'm like, well, if I do that, that's definitely breaking my...
It's not breaking if you paint it.
True.
You then have to...
I have a lot of Warfire credit I can go get.
You then have to paint it.
Yeah, I mean, I could do the ghostly theme again.
You could.
I mean, again.
You could. I know. Look, it was very effective the first time. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it's incorporeal. All right, let's go over Razzles' list. Borkhan, which I actually think gets a lot more play now. Mm-hmm. Borkhan with a cold start, that's plus 4-inch range on all your guns. And that is if your opponent has a ranged attack that targets a battlesuit or a vehicle that is strength 7 or less, it reduces the strength by 1. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
If strength 7 or less targets a battlesuit or vehicle, -1 strength.
Yes.
So once you hit strength 8, you stay there, but anything less is going to go down to like 6 or lower.
Yeah.
So strength 7 goes to 6. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I was contemplating it actually against Flamers for LVO originally, like a ways back.
Just Borkhan crisis suits.
Just like, hey, you win me on 5s. get wrecked.
It would be fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so going into this, we got Cold Star Commander with Overdrive Power System and Seeker of Perfection. I'll tell you what those do. DWO2 Advanced Burst and a High Output Burst. A lot of burst fire. A Missile Pod, a Plasma Rifle, and 2 Marker Drones. So,
yep, that's a commander.
Overdrive Power System. This is the cool Borkhan commander. Overdrive Power System is pick 2 of his guns, which is going to be the DWO2 and the high output. And then if they're within half range, which for him is 11 inches because he's Borkhan, they get +1 to wound.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Seeker of Perfection gives every single one of his guns an additional point of AP. And...
Just all the time, passive?
And... Up to 3 mortal wounds. 6s to wound are a mortal wound up to 3.
Okay, so that guy hits very respectably.
Oh, yeah, and he's a cold star, so he ignores cover as well. Yeah. I have a bit of a loadout talk on some of this,
don't love
but
that.
but we'll get to it. Then we got a cold star with Precision of the Hunter, another high output burst, a missile pod, a burst cannon, and a Nova Surge plasma rifle, which is the ignores invuln AP5 plasma rifle.
Solid.
Seems pretty good.
Guy's got some rerolls on him, doesn't he?
That boy reroll, that's for sure.
And he's got
2 more marker
burst
drones.
cannons.
And 2 marker drones. And then we've got an Ethereal with a hover drone, Sense of Stone, which is the Feel No Pain, Wisdom of the Guides, which is the CP generator, and the Humble State, which lets him do both. We've got 2 units of Breachers. We've got 3 units of Crute Hounds. We've got 1 unit of Crisis Suits with Burst Cyclic Plasma. 4 of them have target locks. 1 of them has Iridium, Shield Gen, Stim Injectors. We've got 2 marker drones and 2 shield drones for 425.
Okay.
Respectable unit. We've got 2 Riptides with Ion Accelerator, standard loadout, Ion Accelerator, double plasma rifle, multi-tracker, target lock, and velocity tracker. And then we've got 2 Sunsharks.
Seems pretty good. So 2 suits, 2 commanders, big crisis suit, 2 Riptides, 2 Sunsharks. This looks very much like it's translated from Nephilim, but Borkan.
It does. I don't actually think Borkan wants crisis suits. Or if it does, I think your Precision of the Hunter guy has to be a crisis commander.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's still kind of sticking to the Tau theme of, like, I don't have enough crisis suits to justify the commander, but also without having either of Shadow Sun or the Ignore rerolls, the crisis suit unit definitely feels a little lackluster for 425.
You mean the ignore hit modifiers?
That one.
Yeah.
And
fall back and shoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do want to be Montka, although now the Sunsharks start in reserve a lot less often.
I got Montcaught against at LVO.
Yeah, I think Montka, people are writing off Montka, and it's not dead. Sunsharks going into Calgon getting better, honestly, or whatever. The previous changes didn't really change Montka for me. Like, you'd still choose it a decent amount of the time. But Sunsharks having to start the game in reserve just means you're missing out on Montka turn 1, and yeah, it's that generally means you go to Calgon most of the time. But looking at it, we've got 5 crisis suits that, in my opinion, without a crisis commander, don't really do much. Going to the Overdrive Power System Secret Perfection guy, I like him, instead of a missile pod plasma rifle, I really like him with double Tau flamers. Let me explain. He gets plus 4 inch range on them, so they go to 16 inches. He gets plus 1 AP on them, so they go from AP 0 to AP 1, ignores cover. And they're excellent on Overwatch, because he'll do the 3 mortals on Overwatch and hit you with the flamer.
Yeah, okay.
And they're just very consistent if you want to shoot them at one thing to do the 3 mortals, and then demolish something with his burst cannons in a different direction.
And Tau Flamers are D6 plus 2 hits?
They are. So it'd be 2d6 plus 4 at 16 inch range with AP 1.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that just to guarantee you proc the mortal wounds. And you can do that to a separate target than what you shoot your main guns at.
And because he's the DW2, he can't take the upgrade flamer, right?
Correct. My personal preference would be going sans crisis suits and taking an Enforcer commander with precision, thermoneutronic, and bagel hunter plate.
And then do you load that up with Sibs?
And then he just takes cyclic ion blasters out the gills, like out the wazoo.
It does hurt.
That guy
does hurt.
Slams. And then you don't take an ethereal because you're not taking crisis suits to buff, and you take a bunch of breacher fish and riptides and planes.
Okay.
That's probably where I would go with it. Cold Star mostly as you're loaded out here, an Enforcer, no ethereal, 20. I wrote the list at one point. 20 breachers in fish, 3 units of Crute Hounds, I think 3 riptides, 2 riptides, 3 riptides, and 2 Sunsharks.
So how much? What's the difference between the Cold Star and the Enforcer points wise?
The Enforcer's pretty expensive.
Okay.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, we're cutting 425 here, so we've got points to play with.
Yeah, if you want to play with crisis suits, which is totally fine, your list looks pretty good. I would just cut the Cold Star for crisis so that you can ignore hit modifiers, which is massive.
Yep.
And then I would probably take Exemplar of the Montka so you can reroll your wounds. I'd take that on the ethereal. But if you're looking to go crisis-less, which, you could, You can take an Enforcer Commander that is 130 base.
Okay.
Plus, I'm going to say triple Cyclic.
Sure.
Which is 55 points.
It's 55, okay.
Yep. Then Tau Flamer is 5 plus 20 for...
the drones?
Plus 20 for Thermo.
Okay, got it.
And then you can take him with 20 points of drones, or you cannot.
Got it. So if we took him with 20 points of drones, he'd be 25 points more than that Cold Star.
Yeah.
Which means that we have 403 points to play with if we theoretically cut that Crisis unit.
Exactly. Now, we probably do want markers on our commanders because the Riptides like them a lot.
Yeah. Does the Enforcer give anyone OBSEC? Can he give himself OBSEC?
No.
So is there anyone for him to give OBSEC?
No, he's just a really good character.
Okay.
That's
so
it.
It's just that he's the best one who can take Sibs.
Exactly.
Stuff.
And a 22-inch range Sib is like pretty scary.
The cyclic ion blasters are terrifying. I've felt this pain myself.
Gargafarg, you can do both buffs on one unit Crisis Suits.
You can indeed.
Yes. So you can have a unit that ignores hit modifiers and then goes 18 inches and just like...
Yeah. Here's a question. How much are the Devilfish?
95 each.
Okay, so theoretically we had 403. If we're dropping 190 points on 295...
Why 403?
Well, we cut 425 points of Crisis Suits.
Okay.
And then we spent 25 points upgrading the Cold Star.
And then we have 3 points. Got it.
We have 3, so 403. So, and it's 95 per Devilfish. So that means that we have 213 points left, which is not quite a Riptide, but it's a little closer than I thought it would be.
Did you cut the Ethereal?
Oh, I did not. Oh yeah, because if we don't have the... Okay,
if you don't have the Crisis, then the Feel No Pain... Like, the +1 CP is probably not worth.
Yeah, so then we have 308, which is enough to potentially get us a Riptide and still have a little bit of points left for something cute.
Yeah, that's a lot of pain, my dude.
So that's what you're thinking? You want a third Riptide here?
I mean, I want Breacher Fish, because I think Breacher... honestly...
Well, we already have 2 Devilfish and 2 Breachers.
In this?
Yeah, because we cut the Crisis Suits and the Ethereal, and then we upgrade the Cold Star, and that gives us a net 495 points. And then we used 495 points. We bought 2 Breachers.
Jesus Christ.
Like 2 Devilfish for the Breachers. We could do a third.
That is so expensive. Oh my god.
The Crisis Suit unit? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 425 points. We could easily do another Breacher and another Devilfish, and then just have like 100-ish points to play with.
Yeah,
or we could just add a third Riptide.
I mean, yeah, so we can either add a third Riptide and then probably, like, I don't know, take some nonsense like...
Yeah, like I'd probably just put in like 1 Piranha just to like do cute things.
Piranhas are good. Stealth Suits are good. All of that's good. Or you just take more Breacher Fish, which I don't hate. If you take more Breacher Fish, you probably take the guy who gives him an aura of exploding 6s.
Is that the Cadre Fireblade?
It is the Cadre Fireblade.
Fair.
I believe he's like 50.
I don't know.
I know. I got it right here, bud. Yeah, he's 50.
You could easily fit another Devilfish with Breachers for 3 by 10 and 3 by fish, and then still have that guy in. That's something you have points for.
That's incredible. Yeah, either one of those is fine. I really don't know which one's better. I probably lean towards just having the Riptide.
Okay.
Because he big, he thick.
So, minus another Riptide, we have 58 points. How much is a Piranha?
Not quite that. I think Piranha's like 60.
Oh, don't tell me
Yeah,
that.
Piranha's 60.
60?
Piranha is 60.
But we only have 58 points, Jack.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, my lad. I mean...
What can we do?
The Cold Star probably gets cheaper because we're replacing the Missile Pod and Plasma Rifle with Flamers.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if that's the case. The problem is you have to consult the charts for the price on these because there's like 50 upgrades. So as soon as you change anything. Okay, so the Missile Pod Plasma Rifle is 20 points and Double Tau Flamer is 15.
Great. So we have 63 points to play with, and we're saying a Piranha goes right in that, and we're done?
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay,
and
so...
at that stage, Fast Attack is the one that we're taking the most of?
By God, it is.
There we go. Beautiful. All right. Give us the rundown.
All right, so the list is a Cold Star Commander with Overdrive Power System Secret Perfections, Secret Perfection, DW02 Advanced Burst, High Output Burst, Double Tau Flamer, Double Marker Drone. We've got a Cold Star Commander, or not Cold Star, so we've got an Enforcer Commander with Precision of the Hunter, Thermoneutronic Projector, and Big L Hunter's Plate. We've got a triple cyclic ion blaster on him and a thermoneutronic projector, as well as double marker drones.
Solid.
We've got 2 units of 10 breachers in Devilfish. We got 3 units of Recruit Hounds. We got a Piranha and Triptide, triple Riptide, all with double plasma rifle, ion accelerator, multi-tracker, target lock, velocity tracker, and 2 Sunshark bombers. That list
Sounds pretty good.
sounds really good, honestly. Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. You could also cut the Piranha and cut the Piranha maybe 1 Recruit Hound and get a Cadre Fireblade double marker drone. You might only be able to take 1. I'd have to double check. I've never taken a Cadre Fireblade.
Same.
But double marker drones on that seems pretty good. In this meta, you can also consider taking broadsides. Because in Borkan, you can ignore invulns with their rail rifles if you want. And in this meta, they're pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Although, 8 wound vehicle probably, or an 8 wound like battlesuit guy is probably what, Gladiator Lancers are looking to see across the table from them. So there is that. But into vehicles, they're pretty good. But yeah, that list sounds real solid. It shoots super hard.
Yeah, that's a lot of guns.
And it still plays mission.
Yeah, 3 Riptides, still got breachers to do mission stuff. The commanders in Borg can hit exceptionally hard.
Yeah. And the range on the commanders,
helps a lot.
Having the thermo be 16 inches and the cyclic ion blasters be 22 means the enforcer commander's a terror. And he can also ignore cover on the thermo, or not ignore cover, ignore invulns on the thermo, which I don't know if he can do in combat, which would be very interesting. If you just run into a Harlequin unit and be like, "You're dead!" Yep. But I think he runs into a Harlequin unit and says you're dead anyway, so it's fine.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I don't think many Harlequin units really exist in front of Tau anymore.
No.
Exist far away from Tau behind a wall, or no, you don't.
I mean, they can try to run at Tau, but the double Sunshark, triple Riptide, double Breacher Fish, double Commander is really good at killing them.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, that list rocks. I do like that. All right. God, that's also something I'd want to run because Borkan has been kind of like my pet.
You're excited about a lot of things, and alas, there are not enough tournaments.
There are not, and that's always been my problem. People are like, why don't you take X Army to a tournament? It's like, well, because I'm going to one tournament this month, and I'm legally allowed to only take one army to it.
Do be like that.
Yeah. Shackleton Mangra, member for 8 months, says, hi, planning on taking White Scars to Cherokee. Should I take a Whirlwind in my Gravis plus Terminators list, and will I be seeing any of it all there?
Howdy, Shackleton. You will most likely be seeing us there. I think that we are leaning towards Cherokee, but I'm still giving it a week of recover from LVO before I put any money down on that.
Yeah. I'm currently planning on it. I know Quentin is. I think Nick is persuadable.
Perhaps.
And then John is currently leaning there, but, not making decisions.
Yeah, I'll decide later. I got time. Anyways, White Scars and a Whirlwind. I personally don't think that a Whirlwind brings that much to White Scars. Choosing your engagements is plenty in my mind, and you can usually use some combat tricks to get around a lack of fight last. I would be much more inclined to take a Judiciary if I wanted some fight last in my life than a Whirlwind. The White Scars Judiciary does like being damage 3 on the charge, and having a little bit of fight last and other combat character is pretty nice, because White Scars actually kind of need a character to carry all the warlord traits that they want. So like a Rights of War Judiciary is pretty nice because you just don't really have a lot of characters in White Scar list, and some of them have names and therefore can't take Rights of War. So yeah. I think I would rather have a Judiciary if you're looking to add some fight last. To me, that's more value than a Whirlwind.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right, and looks like we got one more super chat before we hit our third list.
That's right. We got Lee Churchward with a £5 super chat.
Thank you.
What's the perfect ratio of Lehman Russ to Rogal Dorn to infantry for a team's tournament on UKTC terrain? Congrats on the LVO win, Jack. Thank you, but I will toss this question over to John.
There we go. I'm going to assume that this is a 2,000 point list, not a doubles list. So without knowing that much about UKTC terrain, my preferred ratio right now is to either go 5 Russ or 3 Russ and a Dorn. I kind of see the Dorn as 2 Russ for the slightly less than the price of 2. And with that, you're just looking at, I think 3 infantry squads is fine. I will say, though, that if you go 3 infantry squads, you need other skirmish units, which in my mind is Sentinels. So if you're not running Sentinels, I think you need 4 or 5 infantry units. If you are running Sentinels, I think 3 infantry units is fine. For example, my current list is, I think 3 Russ total, 1 commander, 2 regular, 1 Dorn, then 3 infantry squads, then 3 units of sentinels.
Okay.
That's what I like.
Sounds good. People are wondering why we like the Breacher Fish. They can do damage, they can have threat, but mostly they're there to play the mission and do aerospace targeting relays when you need them to, take objectives when you need them to. They're quite good.
Yeah, exist, require attention.
Yep. Pathfinders are also very good at this role because they can move, shoot, their marker lights move again, shoot their regular guns. It's pretty gross. And then you get a million marker lights when you need them, and you probably don't need the marker drones as much.
Fair.
Yeah. All right. Oh wow! Before we come in, we've got a $10 super chat from the Tactics Club. Thank you so much. That's your first super chat. Woohoo! We appreciate you.
Thank you, Tactics Club. There wasn't any text in that, so we just appreciate the support. But if you wanted text in that, type it below.
Yep. Travis Cromer says, "I want to have my list critiqued. What do I need to do?"
Ooh,
that's a good question.
I got the pitch. All right. So what you need to do is you need to be in the Art of War Discord and then go to the Fix My List section, post your list there, and maybe we'll take a look at it. How you get in the Art of War Discord, this part is pretty easy. You need to either go to our website, theartofwar40k.com, and sign up for the War Room, or you can become a member of this YouTube channel. Either way, you'll get access to the Discord, and then just post your list right in the Fix My List section.
Yep. That sounds about right. All right. Yeah, I mean, you can go with crisis suits in a Borkon list, but I think Borkon is uniquely suited to not taking crisis suits, and I think it's a very interesting build.
That's true.
All right.
And it looks like the Tactics Club has hit us with another super chat. Thank you so much, Tactics Club.
Oh, this is a question for me.
This is definitely a Jack question. You want me to read it off?
Absolutely. Give it to me.
Heading to Cherokee 2. Awesome. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. I love Mech Dar. I want to run up to 3 Falcons and 3 Wave Serpents. How can I make it work? Jack.
Right. So this is a pet army of mine that I have not actually run to an event, but I have put it on the table a couple times, and it is solid. And I think it's solid in this metagame. So let me give you the very quick rundown on it. So Mech Dar, you've got, the idea is you will shoot first. So in that mind, you run Hail of Doom because you just need efficiency in shooting.
Yep, as much as you can get.
As much as you can get. So you take Hail of Doom, and the core of the list is 3x7 Dire Avengers with the extra Shuriken Catapult on the Exarch, and you put them in 3 Falcons. Or 3x6, sorry. 3x6 Dire Avengers in 3 Falcons. They have 7 Shuriken Catapults when they come in.
Solid.
And those those Falcons can all start in the sky in Cloud Strike. So that when they come in, you have turn 1 pressure if you want. They all drop in, pop, pop, pop. Or they drop where you need them to. You get out and you can shoot. And so you can deliver all your pressure where you want, but you don't have to deploy 6 hulls.
Yeah.
And then 3 Falcons are great. I think you need 3 Fire Prisms, especially in this metagame. Sure. Into Guard. Guard receive no save. So that's very nice. It's AP 5, 3d3 damage. So that's very strong. And into Non-Armor of Contempt, the AP 2 damage 2 profile is also very good. So I would base the list around 3 Falcons with 3 units of 6 Dire Avengers and 3 Fire Prisms, if you have it. And then it's a sprinkling of characters and support. You need enough troops to do the list. So you need to do your secondaries, to do your point scoring. So at least 1 unit of Rangers is mandatory just to do Scout the Enemy. You probably want like 3 units of 1 Viper and some units of 1 Warwalker are pretty good. Or you can go into Harlequins and take some characters there and some Star Weavers with troops in them.
Pretty good.
As far as HQs go, you need Baharoth because you need some kind of OBSEC that will not just disappear. So you need Baharoth. You can consider taking Karandris. You can consider taking even Morgan Ra might want to be in the list because he just sits and shoots and then guards an objective, and that's all he does.
Yeah.
And then you don't really need Guide and Doom because you don't really have any targets. Doom is better because all of your Dire Avengers can shoot at the same target and just rip it apart. So you can still take Doom, and then I like taking a Mortal Wound Farseer in that build with Mortal Wound Farseer with, like Kernus's Bow and Mark the Incomparable Hunter, and then Executioner Crushing Orb, and he just outputs damage. And I think that's pretty good, and you can skip out on all the other little nonsenseness. And then you have a Warp Ritual package of a guy who runs to the center, Warp Rituals, and a Quicken package to bring him back. And that, I think, is the whole list.
There you go.
All right. Our next list up, we've got Hammered War Painter. Not Warhammer Painter.
No.
Hammered War Painter.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Obviously.
And Hammered War Painter is bringing us a Swift Strikes / Children of the Open Skies Eldar list.
Yeah, he go fast.
He's going fast. And what Swift Strikes does is it lets you count as stationary even if you advanced, which is a little bit redundant with half of Eldar's rules, but what's notable here is that the generally accepted ruling is that you can battle focus after you advance, if you are Swift Strikes.
Yes, which is less strong now that Swooping Hawks got Ripperoni.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're still good. In fact, this list probably wants a unit of 10.
I was thinking, I think you do want that.
I think this unit wants 1 unit of 10. I think 2 units is just too expensive now.
And then
Guard is unfortunate, to say the least. But if you go first, hopefully, like, Shroud Runners can go and deal with the mortars and call that a day.
And then you also have Children of the Open Skies, which gives you +1 move to your army.
Yes.
+1 move additionally to anyone that flies, so a net +2.
Right.
And you treat any advance roll of a 1 or 2 as a 3.
Yeah.
Which is, the minimum advance part is honestly my favorite part, because I love that.
Well, I
This list
actually
goes fast.
don't think the minimum advance is that important, because a lot of this either has a lot of the stuff that'd be advancing either has like auto 6 on their advance, like the Shroud Runners or Wind Riders, or you're gonna fate die it anyway. So like,
Yeah, I guess Fate Die does help. I just like my favorite part of Kraken was that all of the non-primary units were just still moving like 10.
That's true. That was kind of my favorite part of Black Templars, like a year and a half ago, was, oh, my entire death ball is moving up. Oh, I rolled a 1 in advance. Nope. I rolled a 2 in advance. Nope. It's just constantly going faster.
Everyone's going fast. It's really nice. All right, so let's break down what this list has in it.
Yes. So we've got a Farseer, which is the Seer of the Shifting Vector, which I need to look up what that does.
I believe that is 6 up CP regen.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Focus Will, Fateful Divergence. So that's, I don't believe you get the 6 up CP regen and +1 CP. So
You don't.
Yeah.
But this is just redundancy. You just
I
want
guess.
CP.
I would probably cut Seer of the Shifting Vector, but we'll get to that later. Yeah. You got a Farseer Skyrunner with Doom, Will of Asurian, and Phoenix Gem to come back to life when he dies for the first time.
Solid.
We've got Moggan Ra and Corandaris. Got Moggan Ra and Corandris. We've got a Warlock Skyrunner with Protect Jinx and a Warlock Conclave with Quicken Restrain. We've got 2 units of 5 Rangers. We've got 3 units of 5 Dire Avengers. We've got 2 units of 5 Howling Banshees. One of them has Piercing Strikes. We've got a unit of 5 Striking Scorpions with Crushing Blows. Then we've got 3 Shroud Runners. We've got 4 Wind Riders with Cannons. We've got 3 D Cannons. We've got 5 Dark Reapers with a Missile Launcher on the Exarch. And we got 5 Dark Reapers with Reaper's Reach, which is ignore the heavy penalty when they move and shoot. All right, so looking at this, I like the concept. I do. I like the concept quite a bit. There's a little bit in execution I think we might be able to work on. So Seer of the Shifting Vector, for one, I think needs to leave.
Yeah, just get the CP out of there.
If you have Fateful Divergence, man, I think that's probably good enough. Fateful Focus Will is probably good. If you're not running Hail of Doom, I don't think you necessarily need Guide, although I think you're going to end up with Guide because our Fast Attack is probably going to have a 10-man unit of Swooping Hawks in it.
Yeah, I definitely want that.
They move 16 and minimum advance 3.
Yeah.
And then count as stationary when you shoot.
Do we want to address the Swift Strike / Children part first?
I kind of want to leave that intact, honestly.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk about it first.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Swift Strikes for advancing and going far and fast really helps. There's no one who's fire and fading here, so it's really at the moment just for the Dark Reapers, right?
What Swift Strikes? Children of the Open Skies?
No, the Swift Strikes part. I guess it lets the Wind Riders advance and shoot as well.
Yeah, it lets the Wind Riders advance and shoot. The Shroud Runners get to advance and shoot.
No one here is really taking maximum advantage of advance and battle focus. It's just kind of nice to have.
That is really weird. Why would you take ignore heavy penalty when you count as stationary?
Yep.
All right, that's 15 points we just get back. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just advance and count as stationary, which I guess that does help the Dark Reapers be playable. And this also has the Dark Reapers going very fast with Children of Open Skies. Because their move probably 6 instead of 7.
I'll look them up. I haven't actually put Dark Reapers on the table.
Then they'd go to move 8, then they move advance minimum. So they're going 9 and shooting minimum, probably. Maybe 10.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like Dark Reapers in that because they move quite quick.
Yeah.
I just need to look at their shooting real fast.
And they can still battle focus after, I guess, which is actually pretty nice.
Raftworld, Wahapedia.
And then Children of the Open Skies, just generally having the entire army faster is really cool. I think...
Okay, so 135 for a unit. They move 6 base. You are correct. Their gun, just because I straight up just don't know this, is 1 shot, AP strength 8, AP 2, damage 3, 48-inch range, or 2 shots, strength 5, AP 2, damage 2 at 48-inch range.
Okay. And they don't have battle focus.
And they do not have battle focus.
That breaks my heart.
Yeah. They ignore dense, and if they count as stationary, they're probably just going to be hitting on 3s most of the time.
Yeah.
Which sounds dope.
I hate that they're just getting shot back. Hate that part.
Yeah, they're not like what you would call durable. They have long range, I guess. But they're not durable. I honestly don't really want the Aeldari missile launcher over a Reaper launcher. It's kind of worse. Right? It's either a solid shot that is the exact same, but instead of damage 3, it's damage D6. And then instead of the 2-shot version, it's a D6, strength 4, AP 1, damage 1. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't
And
want
it's
that.
5 points more expensive.
Oh, get that out of there. Yeah, no, keep the Reaper missile.
Yeah. So let me just make sure the wording on Swift Strikes isn't something like... It's definitely you remain stationary.
Yeah, it's you remain stationary.
Yeah. Craft world, far-flung craft worlds. Swift Strikes. Let's get there. Yep. Until the end of the phase, it counts to have remained stationary when selected to shoot, no matter what happens, unless you fell back.
Yeah, so at this point, then I think we're looking at just... So we're keeping the theme.
Yes.
And I think Swift Strikes and Children of the Open Skies can absolutely stay in. The other thing to consider would be replacing Children of the Open Skies with Ignore Cover. But if we go vehicle heavy as a meta, that becomes less relevant, and I can see where Children of the Skies has some really interesting play. So I'm alright leaving it as is.
Shroud Runners go so fast.
Shroud Runners go so fast. I really
They go 24 and shoot.
Yeah. Things that I want in this list... we can keep the Dark Reapers. I want to get another Shroud Runner squad in there, honestly.
I do. I would love to have double Shroud Runner and a unit of Swooping Hawks.
Swooping Hawks are always good. I also kind of want one of those Dire Avengers to be a little bigger.
Yeah. The problem is you start to run into units that don't actually work right in this craft world. Because Dire Avengers are good, but they're not great until you get to Hail.
That's true, yeah. And also, there's no guide in this list, so maybe I don't even think we need the large Dire Avengers. I think they're just cheap units that are zipping around.
If you take Swooping Hawks, I think you need guide.
That's true.
Because they have the 6s to hit auto wound, and then you reroll hits, and it's just... But the problem is, at that point, right, we got double Shroud Runners, and we've got Swooping Hawks. They're all AP 0, so if your opponent's a Marine in cover, they're laughing at you.
Yeah.
And that's the point where I'm like, well, maybe moving 1 to 2 inches slower is fine.
Yep. And I should point out that we actually have Hammered War Painter in the chat for their dropping us a super chat.
Oh.
Thank you, Kenneth.
All right, Kenneth Smith, $5 super chat. We're just going to get this in before we, while we're in the middle of the list. Reaper's Reach is for ignoring the never counts as stationary rule when arriving from reserves.
Yeah. So if you put them in reserves, they arrive and they don't take a heavy penalty.
Okay, that's is cool. Interesting. That's interesting. I still just don't want Dark Reapers, man. They don't do any damage.
That is one of the downsides.
They just don't do any damage. You shoot at Marines, right? You show up from reserves, you fire 10 shots at Marines. You hit on 3s, you wound on 3s. It's like 4 wounds. They get a 4-up, you killed 2 Marines. Yeah. Woo. You know, I just don't think they're that great for their price point. And Marines will kill them back. Period. End of sentence.
The biggest thing to me is that they don't, because what my favorite part about Swift Strikes is that you can advance, shoot, battle focus.
Yes. And
then with Dark Reapers that cannot battle focus, they're just getting shot back. And the worst part of it is that the rest of this list is going to be battle focusing afterwards. It's like you and your whole group of friends jumps out and you egg a house. And then someone opens the door, turns on the street light, and there's just a Dark Reaper standing there while all his friends are hiding behind a bush. And you just turn around like, oh no. Like, oh no.
Yeah, you guys left me behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want 2 units of Shroud Runners. If you go first against Guard, that is some serious problems that Guard have.
Yeah, Shroud Runners are big spooky.
Big spooky. Big spooky. I think if we're going Children of the Open Skies, honestly, I want more melee. Because I think that having that movement to get to combat, I think is a little more.
Fast Banshees is really nice.
Fast Banshees is nice. I mean, how many? Let me look up the abilities on Banshees. Like, how many Banshees can we make good?
Like how many like different units? Because traditionally it's 2, where you take one of them with +1 damage, one of them with a whole bunch of mortals on the charge. I don't know if there's a good third Banshee, but I'm willing to...
Graceful Avoidance is 20 points. It's the most expensive one somehow. It gives the unit 4-up in invuln in combat.
It's kind of dope.
It's not bad. It also gives her +1 attack and +1 wound,
yeah,
which feels pretty good. Yeah, +1
I feel like
attack,
I want
+1
that on a
wound.
larger unit. That's the one that you fate dice in to go tie things up and be a general nuisance.
Or you just take 3x5, honestly, and it's fine. You know,
So-
I would take Nerve Shredding Shriek first because it's +10 points for that, and you get a mortal wound out of it.
Yep.
And also -1 combat attrition to an enemy unit, which is pretty good.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's cool.
I didn't know that either because it's just the more wound, but it's like a 2+ to do a mortal, and then -1 combat attrition to the unit.
Yeah. Bobby Sode, I'm also proud of that metaphor, just so we're clear. Because everyone knew exactly what I meant.
Yeah. I could see taking like a large unit of Dark Reapers that pops out, gets buffs, and then fire and fades back.
Spends the CP. Yeah, 1 unit to fire and fade feels real. I don't mind one big... Oh, you can't make a big Dark Reaper unit.
They're minimum. They're maximum
max
5.
They're
They're max
just
5. Right. So Christopher James wonders why Imperial Guard be in trouble against Shroudrunners. So if Guard goes second, Shroudrunners pre-game move in this list 18 inches, and then
Hilarious.
Yeah, and then can go 24 inches on their turn. So that is anywhere on the table they want.
Yes, that is very fast.
And then they shoot every single mortar on the board to death.
That's definitely their goal.
Yes.
It's their mission purpose.
And then if they don't advance, they just go 18 and 18, you know. They shoot every mortar on the board to death, shoot the Casterkin to death, charge a tank, charge tonks. Yeah. And life gets significantly less fun for Guard if they don't...
Everyone makes fun of me for having 1 Chimera. Just 1 Chimera.
No,
Put all the mortars in it. Just
put the mortars in a Chimera.
Yeah, and then you get them out turn 1. You don't take a heavy penalty.
Jesus Christ.
What? That's why I take a Chimera.
Guard are so stupid.
Oh no, a dedicated transport by infantry. Guard are so broken. Okay, Jack.
Well, there's...
Come on. What? You're going to say I'm stupid? My army's stupid because I have a transport?
No, your army's stupid.
You have no standards for what you would call a stupid army.
That's not why I'm calling it stupid. I'm calling it stupid because mortars plus finial. That's why I'm calling it stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that, honestly, with this kind of build, I would run multiple Howling Banshee units with Nerve Shredding Shriek, Piercing Strikes, and then maybe a third one with Graceful Avoidance. Striking Scorpions, Crushing Blows is great. Deadly Ambush is while they're within an area terrain feature. Each time they make a melee attack by a model in the unit, +1 to hit and +1 AP.
For the Scorpions?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool.
That one's 20 points. That one's really good.
I think so. The problem is that we're doing a lot of talk about what we want to add in. We haven't cut anything yet.
Yeah.
So the thing that in this list that I'm least excited about, and I am so sorry because I know why he's here, it's Maganra.
Yeah, he's gone.
I
He's becoming a
There will
little
be a
blue
day.
man with wings.
There will be a day where I want Maganra on the list because he's a cool model, but unfortunately I don't think he does enough for his points right now.
Is that today?
It's not. It's not today. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I wish it was. Truly, well and truly. How much is Baharoth?
He's 160 as well.
There we go. All right, so we didn't get any points back, but we gained Baharoth. That feels worth something.
Yeah, Baharoth is insane.
I feel like for the amount of melee that this list has, it wants something to buff melee. Because like with Karandras, obviously wouldn't get it, but Karandras, we have 3 melee aspect units. I'm like starting to get to the point where I'm like, ooh, would I want to have?
You can have Exploding Sixes to hit in combat, which is pretty good on striking Scorpions with double 6s explode, and if you give them guide, suddenly they're ripping people to shreds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's pretty stupid.
It's pretty strong.
Not gonna lie.
All right, so let's dial this list in a little bit because we both at least I don't have any like strong ideas of what I want to cut, what I want to add yet.
The Dark Reapers for one.
All right, so you're anti Dark Reaper.
I think I am. I think even in Swift Strikes Children of the Open Skies, I'm just not sold.
Yeah.
They're not consistent damage into generally anything, and they will die on the crackback period. Yeah. If you could take a 10-man squad, guide it in Fire and Fade, I would like that, but you can't. So I don't love that. Mm-hmm. The D cannons don't feel like they have any place in this list, but I get that they're generally like not bad. I get that, so I'm not against it. Mm-hmm. Definitely want a second squad of Shroud Runners, and if you're going Swift Strikes, Children of the Open Skies, I definitely want Swooping Hawks. They go 22, shoot, teleport away, do mortals on their way down.
Yeah, hate that. Because they move 14, goes to move 16, advance minimum 3 means minimum 19.
Yeah.
But then you could always use it, drop a dice.
You always you can fate dice it if you need, and then just to drop the
Minimum
billion
19's
mortals on
pretty
people.
solid, though, you know.
Yeah, that's the point where it's like really hard to hide from you. So that's, I mean, let's go into it, right? Farseer on foot, 105.
Okay.
Farseer Skyrunner, 135.
Easy.
Baharoth and Karandras for a combined 310.
Okay. Phoenix Bros.
I want 2 Warlock Skyrunners here because the odds that you perils and die is I will take those odds over running into guard and just losing quick in turn 1.
Got it. So two different 65-point Warlock Skyrunners. So 130?
Yeah, 130. Okay. The odds that you take a perils, die, lose your Warlock Skyrunner, I think it's okay over the odds that you play into guard and just don't have quick in turn 1.
18. It means once every 3 games on average.
Yeah,
Twice a day or twice a tournament.
Twice a tournament. I think I think it's okay as long as you don't. I mean, because you can CP reroll as well. You reroll both, but you can CP reroll it. So if you take a perils and then you take a second perils, like I get it. I just think that guard are going to go, hey, you're dead. You could take, unfortunately not. There's just no way around it.
Are we thinking 1 ranger or 2? Because I think 1 is fine.
I like 1. I like 2, but let's start with 1.
Start with 1. All right.
All right. I want double Banshees, double Scorp.
Okay. So 1 time.
Actually, I kind of want to flesh out fast attack in this list.
Yeah. So how about we do single Scorp double Banshee to start?
Yeah, let's do that.
So at this point, we're adding no Die Avengers.
Yeah, so that would be 110 for Banshees.
Yep.
And then 105 for Nerve Shredding Shriek.
Okay.
And then 110 for Crushing Blow Scorpions.
All right. So that puts us at 1070.
Give me 180 for 2 units of Shroud Runners.
Easy.
And then give me 250 for a unit of 10 Swooping Hawks.
Okay. So no cannon bike in this
All right.
iteration.
That's 1500 on the nose. I like where that list's head's at.
Do you think 1 decan unit still fits in? Because I still think 1 decan unit's pretty good.
Go for it. 195?
Yeah. And with no Reapers, that leaves us 305 points to play with.
Which kind of makes sense, honestly.
Yep. So far we haven't maxed out any slot, so we could choose to branch into Elite or Fast Attack more still.
I kind of want another unit of Shroud Runners. I feel like they work really well.
So a third unit of Shroud Runners.
Yeah, third unit of Shroud
So
Runners.
we've now committed to Fast Attacks being the 1, and we're at 1785, 215 left.
Okay, so we can go, I want to say like double Viper.
And I don't know how much that is.
Just with scatter lasers would be 80 for the 2 Vipers.
Easy.
Which fills out the last of our fast attack slots and gives us 135. Which sounds like another unit of Rangers. And then...
Do you want to make one of those aspect units bigger, or is that not a thing? You just like 5-mans.
I like 5-mans. I don't really know if they get much out of it.
Yeah, 70 points left. Is a Warwalker heavy or fast?
They're heavy. So you can go a Warwalker with double shuriken cannons at 65.
That would leave us 5 left.
Honestly, Quentin has been kind of selling me on double scatter laser Warwalkers for 55 points. Just 12 shots. There's a lot of AP0 in this list, so I kind of don't want that.
Yeah.
But like a 65-point Warwalker with double shuriken cannons fits the list pretty good. Mm-hmm. Like it fills it out. You get 2 Rangers, you get 1 Warwalker that starts like upboard and it's just kind of a jerk.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right, so that leaves us at 1995.
Yep, if you just add a Shuriken guy, it's 1995.
All right. You can consider Shining Spears, but I think that's a whole nother build where a lot of your Psychic Powers goes into keeping the Shining Spear units hale and hearty. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of something completely different. Although I would like Children of the Open Skies exploding 6s to hit. In fact, I will probably look at something like that for a Cherokee list.
I would love to get some Shining Spears on the table. Shining Spears are Eldar that I respect. There's not many of those.
But those are the ones.
I love Shining Spears.
Shining Spears are dope as hell.
Yeah, they are so cool.
And you can do cool things with them with Protect, Conceal, Fortune, Doom Guide.
I'm not mad at Shining Spears.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a hot look at character spam plus Melee Eldar.
There you go.
Because then Children of the Open Skies plus
just so fast.
Vengeful, I think it is. The 6s explode. That's something you would really go to. But for Swift Strikes Children of the Open Skies, I think you go something like what we have. So do you want to go over it again if you remember it?
Oh boy.
Or I'll go over it.
No, I got it. So it's Farseer as listed, Farseer Skyrunner as listed, Baharoth Karandras, 2 Warlock Skyrunners, one with the Protect Jinx, 1 with Quick and Restrain. These are Skyrunners, not a Conclave. 1 5-man Ranger, which I think went to a second 5-man Ranger.
I believe it did.
Then we have 3 Close Combat Aspect squads. 5 Howling Banshees as listed, 5 Howling Banshees with Nerf Shredding Shriek, 5 Striking Scorpions with Crushing Blows. Then we've just got 3 units of 3 Shroudrunners, 1 10-man Swooping Hawks.
Yep.
I believe we still had the 3D cannons, and then we wrapped that up with a single Warwalker with double Sharkins.
Yep, and we have 2 Vipers.
2 Vipers, that was it.
As far as the Farseers go, you definitely want Guide now.
That's true.
The powers you want, Executioner is super good in a guard.
I think I would cut Fateful Divergence and just keep Seer of the Shifting Vector.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want Doom, I want Will, I want Focus Will.
You start out with a lot of CP in this build, currently. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Cut Fateful Divergence. You still get Focus Will, which is great for Psychic Secondaries. You get Doom, Will of Asurian, and Guide, and call that a day.
Yeah, done.
Yeah. Love that.
All right.
Let's we got some
chats.
Yeah. Ron Huntone says this is the list you bring when you want to play Hero Hammer. No, it isn't. The list I want to play when I bring Hero Hammer involves like 3 Twilight characters as well.
Of course.
It's pretty dope. All right, so we've got Shackleton Mangram again with a $2 super chat. Says, I have 110 points left in my White Scars list. What do I add?
My generic answer there, without the context of the list, is more Infiltrators. Because I think every Space Marine list wants 2 Infiltrators, but I'm not really mad about 3.
Okay.
So without context, Infiltrators.
All right, Dominic Kidwell, $5 super chat. What set of terrain for tourney prep would you buy? FLG pre-painted or something else? Also, congrats, Jack. Wins with many codexes this year. Thank you so much, Dominic. It's been a hell of a year. What would you recommend?
This is the part where you have to mention that you should check out our sponsor, Big Bear 3D, to get some of that terrain, including the Jack Harpster table.
It is a sweet table.
It is a sweet table. Answers, though, for tourney prep, it really depends on what tourneys you're going to. My personal favorite is GW terrain. You can always get the FLG terrain. I like WTC terrain, but that's less useful from a prep standpoint. You more get it on its own merits, not to get ready for an event unless you are going to Europe. But also, I don't know where you are. So if you're in Europe, then definitely WTC terrain. But if you're in the USA, I think GW is the best one to get, personally.
Probably.
GW format.
From Big Bear, you can get terrain sets. I know the new table, the Jack Harpster table, is designed to be modular.
Yep.
So you can assemble it as a GW table, and I believe you can. There are also ways to assemble it as a WTC table, because I've worked with that kit. It is highly modular.
Indeed.
So that's something you could do, is just buy one set and then assemble it as a variety of different things. If you have never tried WTC terrain, it's pretty good. It's generally pretty good. If you live in the US, though, I would get GW on the table, for sure, as you said. All right. We've got the Tactics Club with the Mech Dar. Don't own Prisms. How about Stephen Bach's Pressure with 10 Striking Scorpions, 3x5 Banshees, Jane Czar in BL Falcons, Bright Lance Falcons, 2x10 Dire Avengers in 2 Bright Lance Wave Serpents, Baharoth and Rangers. That can work for you. The strongest part of the list I found for the Mech Dar was going kind of a completely different direction, which was the 3x6 Dire Avengers in the Falcons. I was very impressed with those units because it helps really reduce your footprint.
Yeah.
But none of those units are bad. All those units combine to be a lot of melee, a lot of shooting, and then the Dire Avengers are quite strong when you put Doom Guide on them, for sure.
There we go. All right.
And then we've got Peaches the Destroyer. You know what other unit is super dope, as you put it? Pure Space Wolf Skyclaw is your favorite unit in 40k.
Successor Skyclaws, I think, is better than getting that +1 attack. Because, you know what? I like rerolls from Eltas and Thunderhammers.
Yeah, and you also get Exploding 6s to hit, which kind of makes up for that +1 attack.
Those.
Yeah. The Tactics Club says he has 10 Warp Spiders, 4 Vipers, 2 Warwalkers, and 8 Shining Spears. I like Vipers and Warwalkers in a Mech Dar list with Hail. You just give them Shuriken Cannons, and they're just good skirmishing units, and their damage adds up in bulk. So I do like those. And you can always consider allying in Harlequins if you have the models. Add in Twilight, add in a couple really good characters, and some Star Weavers. I think would be quite good as well.
There we go.
All right. So
I think we fixed the list.
I think we fixed all of the lists. There's no more lists to fix. And Alexander wept when he saw the breadth of his fixed lists, for there were no more lists to fix. All right, guys.
All right. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. We appreciate your support as always. Make sure you hit that like button, possibly even share, subscribe. Go into the comment section and tell Jack that he had a pretty okay year. You did all right, Chief. We're proud of you, son.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
The real ITC victory was the friends we made along the way.
So, yeah, leave us the comments, leave us the things for the algorithm, and you know what? Maybe become a member. You can get in the Discord and submit your list for next week's episode to Fix My List.
That's right. If you tell me how handsome I am, how cool I am, how much you want to be like me, it increases your odds of being picked. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. Anyway, see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.